Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. The topic for today's video is writing a formal letter. My name is Benjamin and I want to remind you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you will have instant notification as soon as other videos are uploaded. Let's get started. In our previous topic, which was how to write a formal letter, we discussed the features. We defined the formal letter and then we discussed the features of a formal letter. We also discussed types of formal letters. But today we are going to look at illustration. We are going to look at how to write it practically. We are going to follow it and see a formal letter, how it is written. That's what we are going to do today. Now, as I earlier said in our previous video, these videos on formal letter writing and other topics are based on a complete ebook published on Amazon.com, which is entitled How to Score High in Your English Exams. I have inserted the links here which you can use to gain access to Amazon.com and then get a copy of that complete ebook if you are interested in getting a copy. Of course, all my other illustrations, details are in that book. So if you also want to get the book directly from me, if you are in Nigeria and you want to pay in local currency, you can write email to me, benjamininfo33@gmail.com. I have inserted this, so as you are watching the video, when you get to these links or addresses, you can pause and write them out so that you can use them to access the vital information that we have talked about. So let's get started with today's business, illustrating how to write a formal letter with a past question. And that past question is West African Senior School Certificate Examinations that sat in June year 2000. So we have taken this question to illustrate, assuming you are writing that in the exam hall. We are going to show you how you can do that. The question is, write a letter to the director of the Environmental Protection Agency in your country complaining about environmental pollution of your area and requesting that urgent action be taken to improve the situation. Now, this is exactly how to write the letter. If you remember what we discussed in the features of the letter starts with your own address and date. So your address can be this: 10 Rabiu Street, Ojo, Lagos State. You can see the commas here and then you can see the full stop. And then the date, May 4, put a comma after that, 2019, full stop. You know, it's just an example. Then the next will be the designation and full address of the receiver. And in this case, the receiver is the person we are writing to. We are writing to the Director, Environmental Protection Agency. Of course, we can invent an address. This is not the real address of this director, but we are just inventing something. We know the capital of Nigeria is Abuja, and that's where most of these ministries are located, so we can invent something. You know, you are in an exam hall, so you may not have all the information, but you can invent something to show exactly that you know what you are doing. So we can write PMB 500 Gariki, Abuja, again full stop at the end of the address. Dear sir, that's the salutation, and like I said before, some people indent the salutation, they leave a space here, and I say that is wrong. Now, dear sir, you put a comma followed by the title. environmental pollution in Ojo. That's exactly the subject or the title of the letter. And then we begin with the first paragraph. The content or the message of our letter begins with the first paragraph. And as I mentioned when I was discussing how to write a formal letter, in that first one where we just went through it theoretically, I promised to show you the essential ingredients that an introductory paragraph must contain. So while we go through this, I want you to take note of this. You begin with the subject matter. I wish to draw, or you can say I write to draw your attention to the environmental pollution that is threatening the health of the people in my area, Ojo in Lagos State. You have stated the subject matter. This is very important. And a formal letter is not a letter where you begin to rigmarole and come up with a cock and bull story, beating about the bush. How is your family? How is your business? And all that. No. It's a business-like letter. The tone must be formal. Go straight to the point. And so you begin with the subject matter. You start addressing the issue right away. Then there are a number of factors responsible for the pollution in the area, and I believe that examining them will enable us to find the right solution to the problem. This is your thesis, or what we call the thesis statement. Your thesis is the main idea, the central idea of your write-up. Whatever you are writing, the thesis is your viewpoint, your central argument. That is exactly what you want to say, you know, and that is what you believe strongly. That's your overriding argument. So you must state your thesis, because everything about your write-up is about developing your thesis or projecting your thesis. Now, after we have seen the subject matter, we have seen the thesis, the next one is the most critical of these factors are lack of a proper system of refuse and waste disposal, lack of drainage channels, air pollution owing to uncontrolled smoke and fumes from factories and residential houses. Now, this is what we call enumeration. You have enumerated the key points you want to talk about here. You see, and this is really very critical. Take note of these things, because when you write a letter like this in an external exam, you have to take note that, you know, you have to make the first paragraph very rich. Make it complete so that after reading it, even if the examiner doesn't have time to read the remaining part of your letter or essay or article, whatever it may be, then you have convinced him or her in this first paragraph. And that fellow can just award you the marks, because by reading the first paragraph, he or she already knows that you know your onions. Let's continue. In the following paragraphs, I will discuss these factors one by one and also suggest ways of remedying the ugly situation. This is what we call the intro. It's like you have told the examiner or the reader what you want, what this letter is about, and you are now ushering him or her into the main body of the essay. That's the function of the intro. Now, let's go into the body of the essay. Again, this is the second paragraph, and this has to do with organization. In paragraphing at this level, you indent it, you know, leave a space, and the space you leave here must be equal to the space you left in the first paragraph. So everything will look organized. You know, in marking your essays, WASSCE examiners use certain guiding principles, some parameters that we have captured with the acronym COEMA. C stands for content, O stands for organization, E stands for expression, and MA stands for mechanical accuracy. These are the parameters. So the organization, the examiner has to look at how you have organized your work properly. And paragraphing is part of the organization. How you have already located your addresses, your salutation, your title, all these are part of the organization. Now, in the body of the letter, we are beginning to argue our points, to marshal our points, and then each paragraph we discuss each point, each key point that we have enumerated. And then it is always beautiful to start each paragraph with what we call a topic sentence, and then watch how this is done. To start with, there is no proper system of refuse and waste disposal in the area. This is your topic sentence for paragraph 1. You are showing that this is exactly what you want to tell the director of the Environmental Protection Agency in this paragraph. And then this is your sub-theme, sub-thesis, if you like, so, and you are going to argue it out with the remaining sentences. And so, as a result, people dump their refuse and waste materials on the streets and in the gutters. The situation is such that all nooks and crannies of the area are littered with refuse, and this constitutes serious danger to health. Now you can see you have been able to drive your point home. You stated your main point. Your topic sentence is the main point of each argument, and is one of the points you have already enumerated in your first paragraph. And how did we come up with this key point? We come up with this key point at the stage when we draw the outline. When I will teach you, writing, or you can look for another video I have already uploaded, 6 steps to writing effectively. You will see the preparation, how to draw an outline. It is when you draw an outline, then you write down in a sheet of paper these key points that you enumerate in your first paragraph, and which you pick one by one to discuss in the various paragraphs that constitute the body of your letter, article, speech, or if you like, a report, as the case may be. We will cover various forms of writing in the course of this program. Okay, so that's exactly about the second paragraph, in which we discussed the first point, beginning with a topic sentence. Let's look at the second paragraph, and then we begin again with the topic sentence, which states our second key point. Another problem is that the gutters and canals in the area are always filled with filth, owing to the fact that there are no proper drainage channels. You see, no proper drainage channels. So you can see this is the topic sentence for paragraph 2. Then you now argue your point. Tell the reader why this point is serious. Now you are going to support it. These we call the supporting details. You have stated your major point of argument, and you are going to support that with a few sentences, giving details, giving evidence. When you state a point, in a very powerful argument, you have to support it with evidence. Now, apart from giving out stinking and offensive odor, these filthy gutters, canals, and other stagnant pools of water in various parts of the community are breeding places for mosquitoes and larvae, which expose the people to the attack of malaria and other disease-causing bacteria and viruses. You see, that is when you are saying that because of lack of drainage channels, this is the problem that you encounter in the area. Then the third paragraph within the body of the letter, which now is our number 4 paragraph. Remember that our first paragraph of the letter started with introduction, and then the body of the letter started with paragraph 2, where we stated our first point. Then we have seen paragraph 3, where we stated our second point, and now we are in paragraph 4, where we are stating our third point. And one thing that is important in writing a letter or an essay or any write-up demanded in your senior WAEC exam is that WAEC has a tradition of wanting you to express at least 3 main ideas, 3 major points in whatever essay or writing. In some cases, they come out and state it, that you should state it in at least 3 points or giving 3 reasons, So even if they have not spelled it out, it's ideal for you to always state at least 3 points in whatever you are writing for WAEC. So here, this is our third point. The problem is even compounded by the serious pollution of air with clouds of smoke and fumes coming from some factories in the area, coupled with the generators in houses, shops, and offices, which also constantly fill the air with exhaust fumes. You see, this is your topic sentence. If you can manage it, it's rather long, but if you cannot manage a very long sentence, you can break it into 2 sentences, But you want to give the clear picture, This is your topic sentence. And then your argument, because this is already self-evident, you are already stating many things, fumes, smoke and fumes coming from exhaust fumes, so all these things are dangerous to health and is self-explanatory. So you just put in a sentence saying this is detrimental to the lives of the people, which is actually correct. You have stated your argument, you have backed it up with evidence to show that it's a serious issue. Now you have stated your points, factors, those major things that constitute health hazard, and then in the next paragraph, you are now going to proffer solution. Whenever you state, you present a problem or you make a complaint, you have to make a suggestion or make recommendation. How will the problem solve? What do you want the government to do or the authorities you are writing to? Now look at it. To remedy this ugly situation, the State Disposal Board should get its agents in the area to wake up and do their job of clearing the town of refuse. This is your recommendation number 1. Alternatively, they can partner private companies to ensure a serious commitment to the job. Okay? Then you are now coming up with the second recommendation. The government must construct proper drainage channels to ensure that gutters and canals are regularly drained. That is your recommendation number 2. You are proffering solution to the problem. how the problem can be solved. Then the third one, factories should be compelled to have well-constructed chimneys, while private houses and shops should be compelled to use pipes or devices to ensure that the smokes or fumes from their generators are carried up away from the people within the vicinity. Now, this is recommendation number 3. Now you are through with it, and you are just, you are just wrapping up your letter here with the last paragraph. I believe that if the above recommendations are looked into and properly implemented, the problem of environmental pollution in Ojo will be solved to the relief of all the residents. Always end your formal letter on a polite note. One of the features, one of the qualities of a good formal letter is politeness. Politeness very key, because you cannot get somebody to take a required action just by trying to offend the person's sensibilities. So politeness is key, and the tone of every formal letter should be politeness. The tone should be polite. So you end your subscription or the complimentary close should always be like that. Look at how we are putting it in the right hand side, and of course this particular area should align with your address. Yours faithfully, comma, then you sign your signature here, and then you end with Okon, Regina, or Regina. Two alternative pronunciations for this female name. So your signature comes after yours faithfully, which is followed with a comma, and after your signature, then your name beginning with the surname Okon Regina. Now that's exactly how to write a formal letter. We have given an illustration, and in fact this sample will help you to learn how to write a formal letter when you want to write it practically. So practice writing a formal letter, and you will get there. Now, as I said earlier, these videos are based on a complete ebook published on Amazon.com entitled How to Score High in Your English Exams. And so I have put the links here that you can copy these links. The first link will take you to the author page. The second will take you to the bookshelf. Any of these links is enough, not the two at a time, but just pick one, copy it. It can be this second one that is short. Just copy it and paste on any Google, any browser, and then you Google it, and it will take you directly to Amazon.com, where my various ebooks are displayed, and then you can click on how to score high in your English exams, and you follow the terms and conditions stated by Amazon, and you just pay and get a copy. Alternatively, if you are here in Nigeria, you want to write to me and request for a copy, so you can pay in Naira, which will be relatively cheaper for you. Of course, you can email me with this address, benjamininfo33@gmail.com. You only need to pay a token of 1,000 Naira, and I will send the copy of the book directly into your email box, so you can download it to your laptop, to your iPad, or to your handset. Whatever electronic device you are using, the book is easily downloadable to that device. That's exactly the way it is. So at this juncture, I just want to thank you for your time. We have discussed writing a formal letter today, and I believe we have done justice to it. Writing a formal letter, that's the topic we have discussed today, and we have taken a clear illustration. We have illustrated how to write a formal letter with a past question taken from West African Senior School Certificate Examination, that of June the year 2000. We have seen the question and we have looked at the clear procedure for writing a good letter for that external examining body. That's the way it has been, and this is where we draw the curtain in today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you will instantly have access to other videos that will be uploaded. This YouTube channel is now a place where you can always resort to and find enough content if you have intention of learning English, either for your everyday effective communication or in preparing for your external English exams. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and please keep learning, because the day you stop learning is the day you start dying intellectually. Remain blessed and see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.